To start the tortilla, first dice the onions. Then heat a fry pan to medium-low and add the olive oil and onions. Add a bit of the salt to the onions while they cook to draw out the moisture, allowing them to braise in their juices. Stir the onions occasionally and let cook until translucent. While the onions sweat, peel the potatoes. Once the onions are ready, cut the potatoes into quarters lengthwise and slice. Here I'm using a turning knife, but a small paring knife would also work. Cut the potatoes into little pyramid-shaped pieces, like this. As you cut the potatoes, you will create corners, and each corner you cut off will create your next corner or edge. For this recipe, the shape of the potato is important because the outside edges will cook quicker and become somewhat soft, while the inside keeps its shape. The soft edges act almost like a starchy glue, which will help keep the tortilla together once cooked. Another important tip is to not crowd the potatoes, so be sure to use a pan that is large enough. Once you have finished cutting all of the potatoes, add the remaining olive oil, salt, and white pepper. Turn the heat up to medium while you fold everything together. Then turn the heat down to medium-low, cover, and let cook. Check the potatoes from time to time to make sure they are not getting any color. If so, turn the heat down a bit. When stirring the potatoes, be gentle with them. You don't want to mash them. The ingredients for this dish are so simple. I think that's why I love this tortilla so much. The end result is only dependent on the attention to detail, like how you cut the potatoes and how you cook them, and of course, how you cook and shape the tortilla. When the potatoes are almost done, check them for seasoning. They should taste perfectly seasoned, almost a tiny bit salty because we still have to add the eggs. You may need to add just a bit more salt. The potatoes will take anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes to cook. When cooked, the middle should be firm while the edges should have begun to break down. These potatoes are ready. Once done, measure out the potatoes into a large bowl. You are just looking for a rough measurement here, simply because the potatoes are all different sizes and it's hard to cook the perfect amount. Besides, I always cook a bit extra just to be sure I have enough, and any leftover potatoes are really good on their own. To cook the tortilla, thoroughly whisk the eggs and pour into the potatoes and gently fold together. You could also add some roasted peppers at this point if you wanted to add a bit more color. Then heat a fry pan to medium heat and add the oil. For this tortilla, it is best to use a non-stick pan with rounded sides that is about 9 inches in diameter. Once the pan is hot, add the potatoes and eggs. Shake the pan a bit to make sure everything is even. Then once the sides of the tortilla start to cook, give the pan a bit of a shake to make sure the bottom is not sticking. Once the sides start to cook and set, gently fold them over like this using a rounded spoon or spatula. After about 5 to 7 minutes, or as soon as the edges of the tortilla start to brown, you are ready to flip it. This pizza plate works really well to flip the tortilla, but you can also use a flat plate. Just make sure it's big enough to cover the entire pan and tortilla. Then in one clean motion, and with confidence, flip the tortilla over onto the plate. If you like, you can do this over the sink, just in case. Place the frying pan back onto the stove and drizzle with a bit more oil. Now slide the tortilla back into the pan and tuck the sides under. This will give you that nice rounded edge. Cook on medium heat for another 3 to 5 minutes. You want the tortilla to be cooked in the middle, but still a bit soft. This one here is not quite ready. You can see the center is still a bit wet. Now this is ready to flip. See how the center is soft but set? Again, place a flat plate over the pan and flip the tortilla over. Usually, the first side has the best color, so you may want to flip the tortilla over one last time onto a serving plate. Allow the tortilla to sit for at least 15 minutes before serving. Meanwhile, go ahead and prepare the salad. To make the dressing for the salad, first crush the garlic. This is a fairly garlicky dressing, so depending on your taste, you may want to decrease the amount of garlic. Now juice the lemons. Here we're using sweet Meyer lemons, but regular lemons would also work just fine. Next add the honey, salt and pepper, and then slowly whisk in the oil. This will make more dressing than you likely need, but it will last for quite a few days in the refrigerator, and it's a great everyday dressing. When ready to serve, spoon a few tablespoons of the dressing over the salad and mix. Here we're using a simple and delicate mix of red, green, and butter lettuce. This fresh lemony salad is a nice contrast to the subtle flavors of the tortilla. Once the tortilla has cooled, cut into wedges and serve with a bit of the salad and a few oven-dried tomatoes for garnish.